Yo, welcome back to the Football Rig. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Today, with the Arsenal news drill down, we're going to cover a lot of things here. And of course, shout out to my beautiful panel here. We have Gianni in the building. We have Taryn in the building. Make sure you guys subscribe to them. Both channels are in the description. So please go show some love and subscribe immediately to them. So today we have a couple of things we want to talk about. There are some news about, of course, we're going to talk about the Arsenal game that happened. So these gentlemen can give you their opinion about it. And the PR machine, Arsenal, throwing the news to cover the dirt, the shit performance that we had. So that's the PR machine working. And we are linked to a couple of Inter Milan stars that we're going to talk about. And also another stars from the Bundesliga. All of that will be covered in the Arsenal news drill down. How are you doing, guys? Tell me how you guys doing, please.
All good. All good. Just another Friday. And yeah, all good. All good. Can't wait to get into some of these topics because there's going to be some conversations that need to be had after that Wolves situation.
Yeah. What about you, Taryn? How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Football aside, life is good, you know. Yeah, but TGIF, big up to you. Big up to Gianni. Appreciate you having me on. Yeah, big up to the chat, man. Let's talk some football, what we love to do.
All right, so we can kick things out. So since you guys want to talk about the game first, so there is something that Rice said, which is if you can't win a game, don't lose it. We're still 4 points clear. That was previously, and you know that things is that we've got to keep looking forward. We've got another game next week, so yeah, positive. So do you guys agree with that kind of mentality from Rice, that he's overseeing the draws, the bad results? Is it something positive to feed the team, positive vibes? What's your thought, Taryn?
If you can win the game, don't lose it, and we're still 4 points clear. That's if we were leaving the Etihad saying that, or leaving Anfield saying that, I can hear it. Okay. But it's Brentford. I'm sorry. You should be winning at Brentford, bro. You know, this is constellation. Yeah, this is when you go to the bingo hall and you miss the big 60,000 prize, and the constellation is 500. So you go from 60,000 to 500, and you're trying to talk yourself.
What Brentford? We're talking about Brentford and Wolves, buddy.
Yeah,
bottom of the table.
You're trying to talk yourself into tricking yourself that was a good point. But it was really 2 points drop. So yeah, this is a blanket statement, but it doesn't fit the situation that we're in. We are Arsenal, top of the Premier League. We scored first. Right? We were leading the best defense in the Premier League. You shouldn't be dropping points away at these teams that are mid-table. I have to beat this point. I think Brentford was one of the teams that I picked to get relegated, bro, because this is a team that lost 2 20-goal a season scorers, blood. 2, not 1, not 2. They lost both of them. They lost their captain and their coach. And you want to apply the if we can't win the game, don't lose it. There shouldn't be that should be a win. That was a must win. I know the term must win gets thrown around loosely, but that statement from Declan Rice is the classic PR spin. He's media trained very well. You know, when these guys that aren't on the pitch or when they're not doing this, they do get some media training, and he's demonstrating his captain's ability, because it's been for time that we've seen our actual captain come out and speak. It's always Declan. It's always someone else. But I get what he's doing, but anyone with sense really knows that this is just we're trying to polish a piece of turd, but it's still a piece of shit, and it's a shit sandwich that we're in right now, and you know it's gonna taste nasty. And you know we had another huge bite of that shit sandwich away at the Molyneux on Wednesday, and you know we'll see how it goes this Sunday. But yeah, I don't agree with Declan. With it. It's not, bro. We're leading in the game, and you drop points. I'm sorry.
What about you, Gianni? Do you agree? Do you accept? Do you think this is showing strong mentality, not dropping the towels and just giving up and surrendering to the fact that we drew and lost points?
No. What makes this take even more distasteful is the amount of draws that stopped us from winning the league last year.
Yeah, 14
draws. That's true. So it's like you're saying this even though knowing, what was it, 13, 14 draws last year we had?
14.
14 draws, and I don't even remember. I know right off the top of my head, the Villa game was a one that we gave up the lead for them to come back and almost lost that game. So I completely disagree with this. And to echo even more of what Taryn said. First of all, Wolves has got a date with destiny to be the worst team in Premier League history.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that that's your statement after that horrible performance is bullshit. Number one. Number two, the game against Brentford, I'm sorry, I don't prescribe to this ideology of, there's no easy game in the Premier League. I'm sorry. We've seen City for how many years blow the doors off of teams? Same thing with Liverpool.
Right.
The teams you're supposed to beat if you're a serious contender. If you're a pretender for the league, this is what people come up with. These are excuses. So for me, no, I'm not on board with somebody saying this. I think this is copium for
Exactly.
a certain part of the fan base, and because of the fact that Arteta rules the locker room with an iron fist, everybody, as Taryn said, his media trainer is going to back and say the exact same thing that the manager will say. That's my opinion.
What do you guys want him to say at this point? If I bring the mic to you right in front of you and say, hey guys, well, what do you guys think of the game? And you just drop points. I know the frustration, you're mad, you're upset. I mean, the results is not acceptable for Arsenal, but what are you going to say?
Call it out.
Yeah. 100%. They're shit.
Like what?
Yeah. We were shit. We should have went more forward. Call out what needs to be said.
Yeah.
There should be there has been plenty of times throughout the history of football, whether it's been in England, Germany, France, Italy, wherever, where a captain or a big name player on the team will come out and say that we were shit today. This is what we failed at, and we need to shape up and do better. For you and I would have more respect for Rice if he'd came out and said that after the game than this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tony Adams have us. I ask anyone, just go look at some of Tony's old interviews from the early 90s, but when we delivered a shit performance, he wouldn't mince his word. He will listen, we're Arsenal Football Club. We can't be dropping points at the GTEC Stadium. Then he would walk off.
Yep.
And that's what he's saying publicly. So you can imagine what he would be saying behind closed doors to his mates who actually had to respect him. They didn't have a choice to respect him. He was the captain and we were winning shit. You know what I mean? So that's what he would say. And I say that with a certain degree of certainty because I've heard him say it many, many times after we had bad performances under his leadership. He took it personal when the team played badly because it was a reflection on him because he embraced the captaincy with passion, as you should. He was the leader of the team. So when the people who you lead perform poorly, he took it personal. Then he would let the press know.
But that's what Arteta actually said in the press conference. I don't know, guys, if you watched it or not. I was really waiting for it because I wanted to see what he would say after that poor performance against Wolves. He said, "Listen, whatever your opinion is." I mean, I'm just paraphrasing here. I'm not quoting him exactly, but he said, "Just we're going to take it on the chin. So whatever you're going to say, we're going to take it on chin." So in other words, that whatever you're saying is going to be valid. We were shit. Yeah, we were shit. Right, and I also have a video here for Mikel, and I will show you guys later about the upcoming game as well. I mean, some things, man, needs to be addressed, and I want to show this video because it drove me mad. Bro. Listen.
We saw a few frustrated players towards the end of the game. So how do you pick up your players now and lift that morale going into what is such a big game on Sunday, but also the final 11 games of the season?
I think we need to go through the pain, and you need to go through that, looking in the mirror and understanding that what the game requires now and the next action is on Sunday. That's it. Anything that we say from here to there, it's fine. But we need to keep all that in our tummies to show it on Sunday. That's what we have to do.
So we have to take the pain. And before that, he said we have to take it on the chin. I don't get it. I mean, you don't learn. Is there like self-reflection? Do you actually listen to yourself and actually take that kind of advice? Do you take your this advice yourself? Do you actually do that? I don't know. Well, what's your thoughts, guys, about what he said? You have to take the pain, basically.
He said the same shit at Super Sunday 23-24 when he was addressing the crowd. Let it hurt, guys. Take the pain. The same shit verbatim. This is his go-to line when it's unraveling. At the time when he said that first time on Super Sunday in 2024, there was a Premier League trophy at the Emirates, so it was calm.
Okay.
If he had drawn, we would have won the league. So I get it. But then the next year we were worse. And then this year, it's his go-to line. Here's the thing: we want our manager to speak. We want our players to speak. We always want to hear from him. We always love to hear from him. But during those 90 minutes of play is when you should speak the loudest with your play. Speak on the pitch at G-Tech Stadium. You had 90 minutes, bro. You were 60. We were 2-0 up at the Molyneux. 2-0 up. The best defense in the Premier League. 2-0 up on the hour mark. Wolves don't score goals, bro. They have 18 goals total in the. No one has scored less goals. No one has. Only one team. Burnley the only team who's conceded more goals. That's conceded 50 goals. Bayern Munich couldn't score 2 goals on us. Inter at the San Siro couldn't score 2 goals on us. And we give up 2 goals to this bunch who scored 16 goals all season. Let your play during the 90 minutes speak. Then you handle your business on the pitch, then you have very little words in a press conference. Now you find yourself in a press conference saying a whole lot of shit because you didn't say a whole lot while the game was going on with your play.
This guy gets, I mean, this makes me say, for example, Gabriel Jesus at the end of the game when the ref blew the whistle full time. I mean, he started fighting with the Mosquera guy, and I was saying, like, well, where's that fight during the 90? Where's that fight? Where's that urgency during the 90 minutes? Why you didn't do that during the match? Why are you just showing up at the end? I mean, do you guys think that the players and the manager, of course, do they feel accountability? Is there any kind of accountability, Gianni, in your opinion, or do you think Jet just complete crumble and fumble from the team?
No, it was a crumble across the board, and no, there's no accountability because people are already trying to find excuses. I mean, we've had one dickhead hop on social media and say that we didn't adjust to the weather as the reason why that we drew the game and gave up.
Oh my God!
So there's no accountability. Number one. Number two, I said this on DJB. The problem with this guy is this guy thinks he's trying to reinvent the game that's been going on for hundreds of years being played, and thinks that he's revolutionizing when he's trying to do everything ass backwards. You know, how many times have we seen, not just in the Premier League, but just in general, we've seen a team take a 1-goal, 2-goal lead, sit back and do nothing and invite the pressure, and they give the game away.
Yep.
You've seen it time and time again. How many times, if City was, and this is what I mean, right? People say there's no easy game in the Premier League. That 4-year run that City had, all the years that Klopp was with Liverpool, even though he only got 1 title, the bad teams they go and blow the doors off of. They get the game done early. Arsenal's the only team that'll go get a 2-0 lead and just say, you know what? Set up shop. Now, like it's almost like Arteta thinks that this defense that he has created is the same thing as the old AC Milan defense.
Yeah.
Like he literally thinks that Gabriel and Saliba is like Baresi and Maldini. They're not. We've seen it time and time again that when we sit back, we will concede goals because we just invite so much pressure. And what people forget is once you go into that gear of just sitting back, it is very hard to get out of it to go back forward. We've seen it time and time again. The teams that want to go into a relaxed gear but maintain the lead still control the possession. How many times have we seen City or Liverpool beat a shit team 3-0 in the first half, and the second half they don't go forward as much, but they're just playing possession, still retain 70% possession. And to go even further on what Terrence said, their best striker, Strand Larsen's not even on the team. They sold him. So you're really playing against the scrubs and the bums of Wolves. They already know they're going down. Yeah, exactly. So it's common sense stuff here that we're messing around with, you know?
You know what's worse, Gianni? I just want to top it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want to top what you said. What's worse is, and this is what I thought, and this is my opinion, is we didn't just invite pressure. Is the fact that we're wasting time in the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. You know what? You only waste time like that if you're playing Real Madrid, if you're playing PSG, maybe I would understand it, because the momentum is there for them, and they're going for the win, and you're absorbing pressure. But you're doing it against Wolves. Wolves, man, bottom of the table, man.
But it's been allowed by the manager.
Mm-hmm.
How long? If you clock when we play Spurs Sunday, take a stopwatch and clock how long it takes to do a corner. Watch how long it takes to throw the ball in or take a free kick. They're wasting time from the get-go. Like this, I said it on the Bruised Banana last night. I said some of the shit that Arsenal's doing is making Italians look bad at wasting time.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, because we're renowned for that nonsense. The only time that you waste time is when you have a 1-0 lead or you're trying to escape with a win and the other team is pressuring you and you're trying to do that. And that's in the dying minutes of the game. You don't do it throughout. I mean, what Trossard did was a disgrace for that.
Absolutely.
Trossard was a disgrace. But to go back to like with him, he allows this nonsense. Same thing with the situation with Gabriel and Raya. This is basic shit we're messing up on. That's why all this is nonsense. First thing they teach you, I play defense. First thing they teach you on a corner kick or a ball in the air, if the goalie comes out and says mine, I got it, or my ball, as soon as you hear the first word, you get out of the way for the goalie to come and get it so you don't get your head knocked off by the goalie.
Yeah.
This is basic shit that we're messing up on. And that shows, to what Terrence says, that it's starting to crack, that we're starting to see the bottle again. Because basic stuff, once you start messing up the basics, that means there's already problems that are going on behind the scenes.
Just to pile it even more, I just want to read here the comment. Listen, nobody at amateur level leaves their in-house to not attack on scores. Imagine in a pro raining all week, you're telling me they train to not attack. This coach stinks. Honestly. He stank all over the gaff, the Wolves, because that was clear instruction from Arteta to waste time and to try to kill the game, and then it just backfired badly against them. But Taryn, I want to ask you, I mean, there's been a lot of talks about Arsenal not having a star, a leader, and it's a mentality issue basically that is in the dressing room and also on the pitch. And there's a piece of news here saying that Odegaard could be leaving. Here's the piece of news. I'm going to show it to you right now. Odegaard is evaluating his future with Arsenal, it seems, and there's a possibility that he could leave. And I think even if he doesn't leave, probably they will select Declan Rice as a captain next week. Do you think this will, change things on the pitch and off the pitch? Do you think he is the guy that we can rally behind, or the players can rally behind? I don't know. And big up to you, Zir, man. Big up.
Zir.
So tell me, Taryn, what's your thoughts?
I think we're better off without him. And that this is not me just having a dig at him. I think Martin Odegaard could be a good squad player. But factually, our best run of form this season has come when he's been out the team. Mm-hmm. And we have seen him come back into the team and completely upset the chemistry of the team. And he has been a big part of this bottle. Here, this crumbling. And the captain of the football club is meant to be a leader. I don't get the impression that these players believe that if they're going through a rough battle form, or they're under the cosh in a game, can look to Martin Odegaard to drag him through it. He's been here 4 years. It's not like he's a new player trying to sort out the perimeter. He's had a pretty good run to demonstrate or prove us all wrong about his play, about his captaincy. And I think as a captain and as a player, he's underperforming in both capacities. Mm-hmm. So if we can get 60 million, right, for a player that's underperforming for us, make a profit and use that to upgrade, because we do need an upgrade there, right? We don't want to see Odegaard goes and then we get a player off his level or someone worse. So we get 60 million for him. That's a profit, because I think we only play 35 or something for him, and we can upgrade that. We need It's one of the positions that we can upgrade on player-wise. And we do know we have other leaders in the team that can be the captain. So there are people who would be sad to see Martin Odegaard go. I'm not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Gianni, you want to add anything, or Terry just sufficed with his answer?
Odegaard's a bum. He's a bum. What? First of all, I'll say even something controversial about this. As long as Arteta stays, it doesn't matter who becomes the captain. It's not going to change.
Okay.
I hear that.
It's not going to change. Declan Rice can scream up and down the pitch as much as he wants. As long as him and every single player are always looking to the sideline for direction, it doesn't matter who's going to be the captain. You need a captain that's got a set of balls that's going to come here and say, listen, in the 60th minute in that game against Wolves, fuck what he's talking about. We're going to win this game, and we need to get through this, and we'll deal with the repercussions with the manager later. Because at this point, you need to start having the mentality of he can't bench all of us. That needs to be the mentality from this point because it's clearly not working. Again,
Sure.
And I'll even take it one step further. The question for Odegaard is, again, is it about the manager?
It is. Look what Social joins here. He agrees with you. The players are not the issue. Everything has changed. Boardroom, executives, coach staff, players, everything but the head coach. Refresh and reset needed at head coach.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true? Do you think if we get another coach, everything will change?
And
for this particular squad?
I'll take it one step further. These guys right now, all of us have played football. Just imagine you have played for the same coach for 6 years and you get the same result. Once you start seeing things turn to where it's going to be going on 7 years and the same result, people are going to start saying, fuck what he's talking about. I'm not listening.
That's the definition of insanity. If you keep repeating the same thing and you expect a different outcome, that's the definition of insanity.
But the thing is with the players are going to start turning off and not listening. You know, the thing with Martin Odegaard is the problem at the end of the day is he's already been hung out to dry. That's the whole reason why we're seeing all these things now linking him with the move away. That whole tweet that came out about an interview when he said, I tell Odegaard to go forward, but he doesn't do so, and all that nonsense. That's Arteta hanging his captain out to dry to defend himself. And again, that's another thing that if you're supposed to be the leader and the leader is deflecting and not taking the blame for situations when you're the one to blame for it, the rest of the group is going to start not looking at you the same way and aren't going to fight for you the same way. That's the issue here. That tone, that belief is going to go to nothing, and now you'll just be waiting. And now it could potentially turn into a situation where the players are like, you know what, fuck it. We'll get second place another year. He'll be gone. We'll get a new fresh face, and we'll be able to go at this in a better way. That could be potentially what's going on here with that.
Okay, so you're saying it's mainly the manager. Let's see what Taryn thinks, because, like, for example, Victor Gyökeres, right? This is now a stat here shown of how many he hits the shots on target. Okay, so as you can see, the X's are a lot there. Basically, those are the times that he didn't even shoot on target. He didn't have a shot on target, Taryn. So do you think this is a coach issue, or do you think the player is not really the guy we were looking for as a number 9 and he just flopped?
It's a tactics issue. That the player, coaches can create a system, overloads passages of play where you will create an abundance of chances. And the player missed those chances, then it's on the player. Even the great Pep has said, I will create a system, schemes to get you to the final third, and then the individual quality is on you to score the goals. Someone came in my chat the other day and they showed me the stats of just how much we concede when Gyökeres is off the pitch. Like, we always concede when he goes off the pitch. I'm like, why would you come in here telling me we conceding goals when the striker leaves the pitch? And then I thought about it, and that's because he's turned out striker into a damn defender. He's out there doing defensive.
Really?
There's so many times the ball goes forward and there is no one inside. Now, we used to think it was because Lacazette was old and slow. We used to think it was because Gabriel Jesus is dropping into the box to link up play. We used to think it was because Kai Havertz is timid and shy. One thing we know about Gyökeres, he is not timid and shy. He wants to be in the box. He wants to be going that way. Every single one of them. There is not one single attacking player that has thrived or going on to take the next step. under Mikel Arteta's system. So it's a strategy. It's tactics. It's not the players. Now, I tell you, you move Arteta and you put a new detective on this cold case. That's this attack. And all of a sudden, that new detective doesn't see Skelly as a left back. He sees him as a left 8 and he plays him there. And he puts Bukayo Saka closer to the goal. And he says, Gyökeres, I don't need you in the now. There are passages of the play where you will see Erling Haaland in the box defending corners and stuff like that. But that's the exception. That's not the norm. It's way too normal to see our number 14 damn near on the arch in our 18-yard box defending. That when we get a break, what do? We hoof the ball and it just recycles the pressure. There's no outlet. He is made to be a defensive striker.
He missed a couple of sitters, and for his first touch is not really that great, if I'm being honest. I'm a guy who supported Gyökeres, and I was so happy that we signed him actually. And to be honest, I'm starting to back up a little bit and say, okay, I think we effed up here. I think he's not the right guy for us. I understand the system plays a big role and how effective the player could be on the pitch. I'm not disputing that fact, but I think there's also a part of or a factor in the issue that the player is not up to the quality that we were expecting him to be. I mean, playing in the Portuguese league comparing to the Premier League, the conversion for him was not, settled, I would say, and smooth in the transition from that league to this league.
You think Eze has the quality to play for Arsenal?
Oh, based on what we saw last year, 100%.
No, it's 5-year body of work in the Premier League. You think Eze has the quality to be an Arsenal player?
Yes.
Ben, look how bad he looks in our system.
Yeah, that's true.
Every attacking player looks like shit in our system. Every single one. The only players that look good in our system are the defenders. Now, maybe Mikel is a great defensive coach, right? But at this juncture, we praise you for your defense and your ability to develop defenders. But right now, you're not even doing that because we're conceding 2 goals to Wolves. So the defense ain't defensing. So the thing that you're good at, you're no longer doing. So we know you can't catch an attack. So at least lead on your defense. Your defense gave you a clean sheet up on the hour mark. And your attack gave you 2 goals and you didn't leave there with 3 points. Our system. So great example, right? I reference this point. We've seen Manchester City go away to Fulham, concede 4 goals, and win the game. That's because when they go 1-0 up, not sitting back. I'm trying to score more goals. Arsenal concede 4 goals away, we're losing. We conceded 2 goals away and didn't win the game. If we had the killer mentality, the killer instincts of a champion, okay, Wolves got a late goal at the end. That's a consolation. All you did was made it 4-2.
Yep.
Because we went and handled our business. We're not doing that. We're gonna concede goals, no matter how good our defense is. The trick is keep scoring. That way, when you can have a bad referee decision go against you, a dodgy penalty, okay, they got it. It's 3-1 instead of 1-1. That's the difference between us and City. Because you will see at the weekend, Newcastle might give them a game. They might score a goal or 2. But City is going to outscore them. If you notice when Erling Haaland, he misses sitters too, contrary to popular belief. He misses sitters, a fuck ton of them. But if you notice when he gets a chance, he doesn't snatch at it because he knows another chance is coming. Gyökeres gets a chance in the 3rd minute. He might not get another chance till the 83rd minute. You can't play football that way.
Before I address what you said, Terry, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 500 subs. And make sure you guys subscribe to both of these beautiful panelists, Gianni and Taryn. Both are in the description. I think you're spot on with what you said about the structure and the tactics of Arteta. I'm not defending Arteta by any means. But here's another factor that I'll just drop into the bowl here and then to the mixture is rotation, right? We have a couple of players on the bench. We have a good squad, and yet we are not rotating. We have Norgard, for example. We have, Madueke. We have Trossard and Martinelli. We have Havertz, Jesus, and Gyökeres. And yet, for instance, he keeps on overplaying certain players, and now we're seeing them quite knackered on the pitch. And they are really, you can see it. I mean, look at Timber, for example. Timber, 2 months ago, he was one of the best right backs in the whole of Europe, if not the world. But now, if you look at Timber, He's shit. I don't know. He's shit. He's absolute shit. Zumamendi, the same. Rice, the same. So I think, barring the tactics, is also the rotation. And you know, we're playing at war competition. It's very difficult for you to rotate players around and actually, you know, without dropping the levels. Don't you think that's also a factor, Gianni? Barring about what Terrence said about the tactics, which I agree, by the way.
Yeah, but this is nothing new. The non-rotation and the tactics is nothing new. It just took 2 years to catch up to them. Again, when it comes to the rotation, okay. If you have somebody who's leading your attack, he's not scoring goals, but he's getting a shit ton of assists. You're scoring a ton of goals and you're blowing the doors off a ton of teams. And this guy is in line to possibly go 2 straight months as Premier League Player of the Month. Would you take him out, or do you ride the hot hand?
Sorry, what?
If you have a player who is leading your attack as a false 9, he hasn't scored, but he has 10 assists in the span of 2 months since he came to your team, are you riding with the hot hand, or are you bringing in a new player? You're going to go with the hot hand, I'm assuming, correct?
Of course. Yes. Giroud do that at the World Cup for France.
Right, but in Arsenal's
1 goal.
Exactly. And in Arsenal's case, that was Trossard when we got him from Brighton. And what did he do?
Yes.
He brought Gabby Jesus back. Didn't rotate Jesus at all. Jesus eventually got injured later on in the 22-23 season, and it cost us, and we blew 8 points because that was when we went on one.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is nothing new. This is par for the course with him. As far as the situation with Gyökeres is concerned, again, I agree with Taryn. It's the fact that it's his tactics at the end of the day. I always go back to this. The Brighton game that we barely won, where Saka put the ball in the box for Martinelli and Martinelli skied it. That pass should be given mandatory 5 times at least to Gyökeres. The man is not a first touch striker. He's a goal scorer. All he is a fox. The old terminology they used to use was fox in the box. Just get the ball into the box. The man is going to find a way to score. That's his game. The fact that this guy is, I think, what did Matty show on either his stream this morning or last week? The guy's averaging an extra 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers running than what he did at Porto, because we're asking him to do so much work when it's never been his game. And this isn't the first time this has happened. Again, this guy came up with the brilliant idea of taking the top goal scorer in the league at one point in Aubameyang and decided to move him to left wing and have him track back and play defense. So it's par for the course. It hasn't changed. So, and again, to go along with it, all of the fanboys said this is why we need Havertz back when we know Havertz isn't going to get us over the line. So again, it's the system.
Could be our hero, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of but I want to address this to Taryn. Well, he talked about Trossard. I'm going to bring out the other left winger that we have, and these are his stats currently. Good enough or not? And also, would you sell him in the summer, or what's your thoughts here, Taryn? Or would you keep Trossard, or would you sell both? But I'm going to put a scenario here. Let's assume you're allowed to sell one, and you're going to sign a left winger. Who would that be? Are you going to keep Trossard, or are you going to keep Martinelli?
Well, since we got Martinelli on the screen, I'll say 180K a week for match week 27. And I know I can squint my eyes, but I know that's 1 Premier League goal. I know it's not. Is there 1 missing? Should it be 10 or 11? 1 Premier League goal, bro.
With all the misses he have, he should be around 12.
You know what I'm saying? 1 Premier League goal, thanks to the assist with the beautiful.
By the way, before you take your decision, make your decision, Taryn. Trossard is on 220 right now.
Yeah, but Trossard can play football. This guy is a kick and run merchant. He's the only Brazilian winger that I've never seen do any Brazilian winger things. When he scored that goal against Club Brugge, when he slapped it in, everyone was like, Home Alone settings. Like, where was that? If he tried that 10 more times, he ain't doing it 10 more times. I've said in the transfer window, and I'm saying to myself, our left wing play the last time we won the Premier League was Bobby Perez level. That's what we need. He's nowhere near that. That's why I wanted a Rodrigo.
Or Alexis Sanchez, bro.
So that's the best. So and I went back to 04 just to go back to the winning standard. But Alexis was off that standard, but we didn't win because the rest of the team was, we know how that story goes. But the last time we were winning something, that was the level. The Bobby Perez. Now, if we were getting Bobby Perez levels production on that side, we'd be fine. But we've been trying to. Martinelli peaked in 22-23. The same year Odegaard peaked that year, Martinelli peaked that year. We will never see that again. Yep. He will not. He's not a double-digit Premier League winger. He's not. He's been worked out. They know if you show him outside, he will hesitate, and dribble the ball out of bounds, or he'll cut in if he get the drop on you and do the back, try to do the back pass thing to the far post. But he's just not off the level. I know Arsenal fans love him because he came here as a kid, and they try to romanticize the relationship, and you'll put the Champions League goals and the FA Cup goal, but we've never won any of those competitions. You know what I mean? So none of those goals really led to anything. So Martinelli needs to be moved on. He is one of those players that has been given ample opportunities. To keep the same energy for Martinelli that we had for Eddie. He was 24, 25 years old, being treated like a kid. No, Eddie went to Palace and can't really get a game at Palace. Proved that he wasn't off the level for Arsenal. And I think this guy's the same. I think this guy will do well in another league. I think he will do well in the Bundesliga. Possibly.
I don't know why they associate him with Italians. I don't know why.
He could, he could do well over there because we've seen worse go there and thrive. McTominay.
I'm saying they are saying the fake Brazilian, and they're saying the Italian guy that we have. I don't know why they associated Martinelli with
his name. It says Martinelli.
Yeah, maybe he has some Italian heritage. I don't know.
Yeah. But if I had to pick one, and the only thing that Trossard has going against him would be the age. Like, I would get rid of both of them and upgrade. But if the decision is I have to keep one, I will keep the guy who can play in the 10, who can play left wing, right wing, or striker, and he can control the ball, ambidextrous with the feet, and he's an overall better footballer than Martinelli. Mm-hmm. And the Trossard wage was of this year. He just got that bumper contract this year. This guy's been on 180 some time.
Yep,
it's true. What about you, Gianni? I'm sure you're gonna say bun both.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I'm fine with getting rid of Trossard now is because after that incident at Wolves. But listen, I've been one of Trossard's defenders, because I think he's been playing out of position the whole time. He's not a winger. He's been playing, again, like Terrence said, he's a utility player. He can play multiple positions, but Trossard's best position is in the middle, either being a number 10, a false 9, secondary striker, or the striker. Again, our best football was when Trossard was the false 9 when he came from Brighton. That 2-month run is the best football that we've seen played by Arsenal under Arteta. I don't think anybody is going to argue that. And the problem is, at the end of the day, the same thing with Martinelli. Martinelli was a striker when we got him. He was converted to left wing because of the fact that he had the pace and that he had the hard work mentality under Arteta to go and do that. We've now seen that 3 years, 4 years later, with all the hard work and everything else, nothing's amounted to it. He still looks better. The goal that he scored against City, his lone Premier League goal, came from him being in the middle rather than him coming in from the wing. So he took two guys that are not wingers and converted them to wingers because they have to play this system. So for me, both of them need to go at the end of the day, along with plenty of other people. But no, they're both not good enough. I mean, for me, the only way Trossard stays is if you get rid of Havertz and you have to keep Trossard, but then Trossard is the fill-in guy for Gyökeres up top. Because as a pure finisher, next to Gyökeres, Trossard's our best finisher. He's the only guy that can shoot with both feet like that. Saka can pull off the one-time finish here and there with his right foot. I don't see Martinelli scoring goals with his left foot like that, with his weaker foot. It's always this move it back onto my primary foot and take 2 seconds to do so, to where the defender's already on you and you've lost the time for the finishing. That's the only reason why I would say I could give maybe a nod for Trossard. But man, him, Trossard, Jesus, They all need to go. They all need to go.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough, man. Well, and some good news, I would say, since we brought all the negativity out. We have I mean, some good news. Some might not consider it as good news. Is the new signing? It was confirmed today as well by Fabrizio that he signed. There are now pictures of him, Arteta, and Berta as well sitting together. He's signing a 5-year contract until 2031. Bukayo Saka. Your thoughts, guys?
I'll be the first one to jump on this. This signing's going to come back and bite us in the ass within 2 years. Within 2 years, we're going to see that this signing's going to bite us in the ass, and it's self-inflicted damage. The whole problem with Saka is that Saka was not properly allowed to heal. He should have sat the rest of last season, and we would have seen a much better Saka than what we're seeing right now. I personally believe him and Timber runs into this conversation as well, that neither one of them healed properly from their injuries last year, were rushed back, and the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. I'm sorry. £300,000 for what Saka's doing, he's not worth it. That's just my opinion. I would have much rather kept Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Yes, obviously he got into it with the manager and everything else to why he was forced out, but a guy like Aubameyang who is putting up numbers consistently deserves that amount of money. The only reason why his numbers dropped was because he got pushed out to the wing and was playing a situation that he's not supposed to be playing. Saka's numbers have gone down because of the manager and the mishandling of his health to why the injuries have caught up. I guarantee you in 2 years,
I agree.
Going to be talk about there will be a rough conversation about, do we need to bite the bullet and buy Saka out of his contract and allow him to leave? Because if we're paying £300,000 and nothing's going to change from here on out, I'm sorry. The number 10 position, maybe. But again, a lot of people took too much stock into that because it was Wigan. He looked okay. He did not look great. I don't know. There's no player who looks okay that deserves that amount of money, my personal opinion.
Well, look, man, if we're looking at the world right now, world of football, and the money that is paid to the top players around the world, I mean, look just now in January, they signed Mark Gahey for 300+K that he's earning. And Mark Gahey haven't won anything. I mean, yes, he won with Crystal Palace the FA Cup, but he's earning now 300K with Manchester City. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're gonna keep top players within your ranks, then you gotta pay up. You gotta pay top dollar. And for me, I had a conversation and a debate about this with Waffle Don. Big up Waffle Don. Is I don't think he earned that 300K at Arsenal. But when I look around and the players, how much they're earning at their respective clubs, I don't see a player who's earning less than that. If they're considering him one of their greatest assets, I would say. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Taryn, about this? Do you think he is worth 300K, or shouldn't have gone with that kind of money with him? We should have let him go. What's your thoughts about it?
I understand it from a Kroenke standpoint. So here's the thing. I'm more upset at Mikel Arteta's 15 million than Saka making 15 million. Because I know managers who can. Mikel is making 15.6. I know managers who can do a better job with just the 0.6. You don't have to give him the 15 million. Like keep the
Luis Enrique is half of it, I think.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, matter of fact, just for context, because I researched this type of shit. Last year, Mikel Arteta by himself made more money than Oliver Glasner, Eddie Howe, and Arnslot combined. And all three of those managers left the party with a trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the man did his homework.
So I'm more upset at him than Saka. And here's why. When I look across the spaces of the teams that Kroenke's own, right? Okay. If I look at the Denver, because it's BBK Sports, right? So I do all sports content. I consume all kinds of. He owns the LA Rams. Matt Stafford makes $46 million. Mm-hmm. Devontae Adams makes $28 million. Alaric Jackson, the people that no one knows, makes 25. And if you move it to his basketball team, Jokic makes 55 million. Jamal Murray's making 46, and Aaron Gordon's making 28. Mm-hmm. So, and those are the face. So if you're Kroenke and he looks at the face of my franchise for my basketball team, I have to pay him 55. Shit. The face of my football team, the NFL team, I have to pay him 46. the face of my football team in London. I only got to pay him 15. Hey, give him the deal right now before they try to renegotiate. So to Kroenke, this was a bit. He's getting off lightly. Now people are upset with the 50 million with Saka because he's underperforming, which is a fair take. If you're just going to look at the 300 bags versus his performance, grossly underperforming, just like Martinelli on 180, one Premier League goal, grossly underperforming. But I understand from the business standpoint that the Kroenkes, they see this as the face of the franchise, our star boy, and we only have to pay him 15. They'll take that deal every day of the week.
Yep.
You really think it's a commercial stunt?
Absolutely.
Right, bro, if you can get away with playing your best player 15 million, the kind of money that football is generating now, because Denver is a small market. It's not a big market basketball team. The sports market don't get much bigger than London, bro. It doesn't. So in a big market, your superstar, you only have to pay him 15. A billionaire sees that because he's going to make that back on shirt sales by next year.
Yep.
So it's not a big deal to him. It's a big deal to the fans because of his performance. If Saka was performing like Igor, like Thiago this year and banging in goals, no one would care. No, you notice no one ever mentions Declan Rice's price tag anymore.
Yep.
Because he's
performing in a very high level.
Because
but
he's performing, but I step away from the trees and look at the forest, and I understand why the Kroenkes are doing this. But he doesn't deserve 300 bags based on his play.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know, man. I don't.
Jordan with the
I
Bulls.
don't see it as a. I don't see it as a
They paid him $1 million one year. They saw how much Michael Jordan was worth. They had to give him $30 million on a one-off contract the next year. 100% from the business perspective. I 100% agree with that.
Oh, I don't know, but it's a commercial stunt for Saka. He's not like a Ballon d'Or nominee or something. You know, he's not David Beckham.
You don't need to be Ballon d'Or. With our delusional fan base, you don't need to be Ballon d'Or.
It's not that. It's not that. What I'm saying is, like Terrence is trying to explain, is okay. He's gonna, compensate in terms of shirts, selling shirts, and all that stuff. I mean, he's not even David Beckham. You know, like, what do you mean selling shirts? I think the shirts.
They sell. I promise you, they sell.
How much does a jersey go for now? About 180 pounds, 185 pounds. If you equivalent
in that range,
so if you equivalent that with the changeover of the rate to American dollars, it's about what, 230, 240 bucks.
And change.
You got more. You got 10 million American Arsenal fans that could go out and buy a Saka jersey, and you're already starting to see return. That's just America. You go worldwide, you'll see that return. You could see the return possibly every single year. To where Jersey.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying, I don't think that was the detrimental factor to give Saka the 300K per week. I think they look at him as a guy who carried Arsenal for the past 5 years. I would say he was the shining star in the team, and that's why they called him Star Boy for reasons, not because we like him because he's Saka. No, we like him because he was performing at a very high level. Yes, this season he dipped. But we don't have a short memory here. I presume.
Controversial take. What did he carry us from? Because Aubameyang was doing more heavy lifting for Arsenal than he was, and Aubameyang got forced out. He lifted us for 2 years. When we were really shit and when we won a trophy, it was Aubameyang that carried us, not Saka. And it's not Saka's fault because Saka was a kid. But when Aubameyang first started carrying the team. You know, I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing this because somebody who carried a team to trophies. Saka didn't carry us to that FA Cup. Aubameyang did.
So if you, I'm sorry, go on.
No.
If you look at the context of around the 3 big contracts that this club has given out, when we gave Ozil that big contract, he was the only recognizable star at the club. There was no one else there, so they had to sell tickets. They had to sell him to sell something. So you had to pay to be seeing something. So Ozil was given that big contract. With Alba, you have to the context around. He was the only player at the time that was likable. Like Xhaka had threw the armband on the floor. The team wasn't playing good. Like Alba had just lead us to the FA Cup. He was the popular figure at the time. But with this one, I promise you, they have done the cost benefit analysis on this, and they are getting off lightly paying their best player $15 million a year.
Same with They own the Avalanche too. Same thing with the contract they gave McKinnon.
Yep.
McKinnon's arguably the best player in hockey next to that McDavid.
And I didn't use the hockey reference because the NHL doesn't generate a whole lot of revenue compared to the other sports. But yeah, this is what they do.
Same logic the way they look at it. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Okay, well, fair, guys, but I slightly disagree with that, but it's fine. I think you're entitled to have your opinion. I want to move on to
your wrong opinion as well, bro.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. I think it's more than just. I understand it's a business at the end of the day, and of course, business analysis, like you just mentioned, will be a detrimental factor on the decision you're going to make at the end of the day. Are you going to give them the contract? Is it going to be beneficial? When are we going to have the break even? Is it worth it? Is it not? I understand all of that, but still, I think it's just more than that for Saka. That's just my opinion. But anyways, we can move on to more, I would say, interesting topic, which is, it's in the thumbnail, which is Arsenal are hunting down Inter Milan stars. And those two players, the first player that I heard of was, it was a couple of weeks now that I heard there was links, and the links are getting stronger and stronger. And the first guy is a striker of Inter Milan, Esposito. So here it says Arsenal actually sent their official scouts into the San Siro on Saturday, where Inter beat Juve 3-2. So they were really interested on the player and how he's playing and performing, the way he scored, so powerful header. The report here, he impressed Arsenal and Andrea Berta, to be specific, having tracked him for years. And now they are, putting an eye on him, and they might go for him in the summer. Since Gianni is, Calcio guy, I want his opinion about this. I'm sure he follows the guy more than me, and I want his opinion.
He's a hell of a talent, but same problem as it was with Gyökeres. He doesn't fit the style that Arteta plays.
Okay.
He again, most
is he better? Is he better than Gyökeres, you think? Or
potentially yes, but at the same time, the guy's a kid. Here's my problem with this. We just dropped 60 million on Gyökeres, and we're playing a guy in the wrong position. Inter is a team that does not have a lot of money. He's a youth academy player that's going to they're going to ask a lot of money because it's pure profit and they need it for their financial problems. I don't understand why we're looking at a kid that's going to cost us a lot of money when we have a good goal scorer for 60 million, when we know it's just a problem with the manager. So my question for this is going to be the same thing once again. If we're going down the route of looking at a player that potentially does not fit the system like that, it's not and doesn't really play to Arteta, why are we repeating the same thing over again? It's almost similar to the situation as far as this. Here, not a good. Letting players go. They have to let players go. They don't have the money to not say no. So that's Inter's dealing with $1.3 billion in debt. So they have to let players go. I just think, listen, talent-wise, Esposito's got the possibility maybe in the next 2-3 years to be one of the best strikers in the world. He definitely has that about him. He's great in the air, but the problem is we don't cross the ball. We don't put the ball in the box through the air like that, especially not for the striker. We haven't seen it for Gyökeres. So we're already taking away a deficiency from there. He has decent hold-up play, but he has 3 engines around him in Barella, Fratesi, and Zielinski. They have different playing profile styles than what our midfield does. The sideline to sideline doesn't really help Esposito like that. So for me, I think long-term, if you're going to get a different coach, it could be a good signing. But I just think this is also a possibility of throwing money at a problem instead of addressing the actual problem. But as far as capabilities, the kid's a good player. Absolutely. However, I think his brother fits the mold more for us than him. I think his brother, Sebastian.
Wait, he has a brother?
Yeah, he has another brother. Yeah, both him and his brother both came out of the youth academy. His brother's on loan at Cagliari. His brother's
striker as well?
Yeah, his brother is more of the false nine, compact, all-purpose striker than he is. He's your old school big man up top, can hold the ball up, lay off here and there. He has his off games where he can't really pass, where it's just too much action for him. But overall good, very good talent. We just have to see what he can grow into. But if you're telling me it's going to be 40 odd 50 million, I'm not okay with spending 110 million over the course of 2 years on strikers that potentially don't fit the system. That's my take on it. But talent-wise, very good potential.
Here's my take. Assuming that Arteta wins something when I say win something, I mean the Premier League or the UCL, that means that he changed something and we started to play attacking football. Mm-hmm. However, if not, and we move on from Arteta, whoever's going to come as a replacement for Arteta, I think, because we're going to move on from Jesus, I think Jesus is going to be sold. Mm-hmm. I think, so when you're selling Jesus, you're going to sell, I don't know, Martinelli, let's say, I think you're going to free up space and you're going to need attackers because you cannot go for the full season with only 2-3 attackers, right? It's not enough for you to perform in all competitions. So for me, having such a player, because I watched him a couple of times, I watched him against Juve, I watched him even against Arsenal. I really like the guy, and I just looked at the stats right now because last year he was playing for Serie B, I think. Yeah. So I'm not gonna look into it. So this season he played 33 games in all comps, okay, and he scored 7 goals and he assisted 6. So that's 13 GA out of 33 games for a young talent like this. I think it's a very good number for a player who's playing for Inter Milan, right? Is not playing for, I don't know, Como or Cagliari.
But also remember this, Sammy. Remember the formation that they play. He has somebody immediately up there with him. It's not lone striker. That's the only thing.
I understand. This is what I'm saying. It will all depend. If Arteta stays and we do win the league, that means he changed his way of attack. And in case he goes, we bring another manager. I'm sure he's going to find a way to utilize him. Big up to T, man. Big up T. So what's your thoughts, Taron, about this player? Did you see him? I mean, I'm sure you watched him at least against Arsenal when he played, and he had a good shot. He had a good chance, but he didn't really score. But overall, as a talent, do you rate him? Do you think it's a good signing for Arsenal to keep, since we're going to move on from Jesus and all these players that we have in the attack?
I'd like to see another season, I guess. I'm saying 4 goals in 23 games. He's got 4 goals in 23 Serie A games. It's not a great return, but as Gianni pointed out, he plays in a kind of like a second strike. There's someone there with him, but he's a young guy and he's contracted to 2030, so they were going to want big money for him, right? He's got 4 years remaining on his deal, so it's going to be a money thing for me. Like, can we? I always ask, can we do better?
So what's the price that you have in mind that you would pay? You're willing to pay?
I mean, his market value is on FootMob is like 35 million, but I'm sure Inter is not going to let him go for 35 million with 4 years left on his deal. So I don't.
In all honesty, if I was looking at Inter specifically, I would more so look at a Marcus Thuram, because Thuram can play more of what we're looking at. If we're talking,
man, I don't like that player.
I don't like him either. I don't like him either. But I'm saying, but I'm going off of if Arteta wins, right? If Arteta wins and he stays, Thuram is more of a striker that fits the mold because he can get into space, he can dribble, he can come in and link up play, but also score goals. Esposito's
he's a loose cannon, bro. He's a loose cannon. I don't rate him, man.
But here's also the thing. Esposito is going to cost possibly more, because the way Inter's been moving is going into a youth thing. The last show we talked about the midfielder that they were talking about bringing back, Stankovic's kid, and they're trying to go into more of a younger team to grow the team. So Esposito, I don't really see them selling unless it's a crazy offer.
But that's a different case, because they have a buyback clause, so it's easier for them to get them for a very cheap price compared to the other clubs. If we went for him, for instance, it's going to be a lot more expensive if we go for him.
Right. That's why I'm saying, I think for me, in my honest opinion, if I wanted to go for a striker and we were going to say, here, we're going to dump Gyökeres, we're going to go for a striker, my personal opinion, and I've seen the guy play for my club, I'd rather go for Osimhen than Esposito.
Yeah, that's what Gary Cahill was saying. You would go for somebody like Osimhen.
Yeah. I'd go for Osimhen. I'd go for a different profile of striker than Esposito. I don't think Esposito as of right now. And plus, I'm just not with this whole the guy had one good season, let's jump on it, and it turns out to be a bust. I don't like this whole way that football's gone with all this. I'd rather see him put 2 years of work in, and if his GA jumps up to where now he played a full season, he's got 17, 18 Serie A goals, but also like 8, 9 assists as well, where he's showing that he can do more ends of the work. I'm fine with that. I'm not going off a hope and a prayer. Arsenal's past hope and prayer time. We need to get someone who's going to come in and be the final straw that gets us over the line and wins.
So you're willing to move on from Gyökeres, basically, on what you're saying?
No, I'd rather give Gyökeres another year with a different manager, and I think we walk the league, in my personal opinion.
But if you're bringing a top striker like Osimhen is not going to sit on the bench.
No, if I'm saying in this situation, if we're looking at Esposito is going to come in and be a bench guy, and I'm still giving Gyökeres the start. If my personal opinion is if we're going to go the route of dropping big money, get rid of Gyökeres, don't even look at Esposito, and go get a bagsman like Osimhen. If we're going to do that, that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, we don't want a Højlund situation. We don't want a Højlund situation where he looked good and see it. Me and Gary thinking same wavelength right now. You don't want a Højlund situation where he looked good at Atalanta for a year, where everybody played to his strengths, made him look good. He cost 70 million, and then he shit. That's what I'm not looking for.
But everybody was shit under Amorim. I mean,
he was shit even before Amorim got there.
Yeah,
so for me, I'd rather us get a new manager and we stick with Gyökeres and find out with that, and then make a move, than making a premature decision and saying we're going to drop a ton of money. Yeah, kind of like what Social's saying, rather than dropping a ton of money. And Gary Cahill put another example I was going to use. Look at Scamacca and how much money he cost West Ham, and he was what, 50 million for 8 goals? Nah, off of
not worth it. Yeah,
not worth it. Not worth it.
It seems to be a common theme here with Scamacca and all these other men. Like, we've seen like Lukaku shit up United and Chelsea, but bang for Inter and Napoli. So some players just suit that league. That's why this is one of the reasons why I never wanted Amendola Lookman from Atalanta. I've seen him in the Premier League. He was shit at Fulham. He was shit at Everton. But he cooks in that league, and everyone is like, get me Lookman now. I've seen him here, but he wasn't good in the Prem.
Who's the last player from Serie A who really banged in the Premier League? Tonali, probably, right? That's the only player I can think
it's
of.
usually midfielders and defenders. The attackers usually struggle here.
Yeah,
in the Prem.
Strikers,
Italy's
maybe
attack.
Zola from when he played for City. Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's
You're going back 30 years better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the player I can remember. You know, like a striker who came from Serie A, and actually, because they're all shit. Shevchenko, when he came, was shit at Chelsea.
No, what's his name at City was good. He just didn't fit. Pep didn't want him there. He was scoring goals for them.
Dzeko, was it?
No, Dzeko came from Bundesliga. He went to Serie A.
No, guys will leave the Prem and go to Serie A and bang. It's common.
The young kid from Fiorentina. Jovetic.
Okay.
Jovetic. He was probably the last one that you could make an argument that was good, that was decent. He just didn't. Pep wanted him gone because he needed more money to start his $1 billion process at City. But Jovetic is probably the last one, and we're talking 2012. So you're talking 14, 15.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. Well, so there's a high risk for you if you go buy a Serie A striker that he will back or not. But the other Italian player from Inter Milan as well, and I want Taryn to give me his thoughts about this player, is this guy, Bastoni. Arsenal are looking to sign Bastoni. I don't know where he's going to play, since we have a lot of defenders in our squad. We have Saliba, Gabriel, Mosquera, Hincapié. You can argue even Calafiori. But all these players are, defenders in our squad. Do you think Bastoni is what we need?
One of the best in the world. He's one of the best in the world. He can play left back, he can play the wing back.
He can compete with Saliba and Gabriel and actually bench one of them.
Yeah, but when you're the best in the world, why would you? You know what I mean? And I don't even know why we should even get Arteta any more players at this point. You know what I mean? Because I have no issues with his defensive signings. More often than not, it's the hit.
I want you to broaden your mind, Taryn, and just think of an era post Arteta. just forget about Arteta, because I believe that we're building something here for the future. I don't think it's about Arteta anymore. Arteta has to deliver either the Prem or the UCL. Okay, you can fuck off. That's the end of story for me. But assuming that he doesn't, and we move on to another coach, or he does win, so that means he changed something in the squad tactically, and we win something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, right? Think of it forget about the manager for a second, and think of the future of Arsenal. Is that player actually gonna help Arsenal in the future, or foreseeable future? I would say.
So the reality is, Arsenal just re-signed two of their top center backs. Our two starting center backs just re-signed, and we've signed Mascara and Nketiah. I'm not sure a new coach or a new director of football comes in and then spend big money on another top center back. Mm-hmm. There are problems at Arsenal, but I don't think our defense or our center back partnership is the problem. Like, whenever we see in a club have three top center backs, or one club with three of the top 10 center backs in the world, like it really doesn't happen. Like, what are we trying? Are we going to change our system and go to a back three? I don't know. And even if we were going to go to a back three, we don't need a Bastoni. You have Mascara, you can incorporate in there. I just don't. This one seemed like it's the reach for me. I don't know why we would ignore all the other problems in the squad and to address a problem that doesn't exist. It probably a year or two down the road, but signing Bastoni this transfer window or this summer, I don't know. I don't see it.
Far-fetched.
Yeah.
Okay, fairs. Okay, the other player that we are linked to, and I think this is a profile that we actually might need. I don't know much about the player, and probably Zero would have said more about him. We have two players we're going to talk about. This guy is the first one, is Nusa. And I've been seeing a lot of reports about him, a lot of news that are circling this player. I have no clue. I mean, I don't watch the Bundesliga. So I'm going to throw it at you guys and ask you, are you familiar with the player? Do you think he's a good player for Arsenal Football Club? Well, what are your thoughts?
Never watched him.
Never watched them.
RB Leipzig is such a fucking dead zone for forward players. I wouldn't even look at that club for that.
Oh, that's what he's at. Oh, that's the Nkunku tax.
The Nkunku and Shesko tax. And the same thing can be said for the other bum that went to Juventus. Openda. He sucks.
Oh, okay.
Openda, yeah. I'm looking at his stats. His stats are horrendous.
Yeah, it's
19 games, 2 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
No,
I'm good. We don't need that nonsense. We don't need that.
He's a left winger. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on, guys. I'm just gonna keep it short because I don't know the player.
Bastoni, but just real quick for Bastoni, I don't think Bastoni is leaving the captain position of Inter behind to be a bench player. I don't think Bastoni's going to leave being the captain of Inter Milan, because he will be taking over the captaincy for the team once because Lautaro's linked to be moving as well. I don't think he's letting go of that captain's armband to be the captain of Inter to be a bench player for Arsenal. The only way you go after Bastoni is if secretly behind the scenes, Gabriel or Saliba has something worked out with a club like a Barcelona, Bayern Munich, or a Real Madrid, that they're leaving no matter what happens at the end of the season, and you're going to get Bastoni to replace them. Or, as Taryn said, unless Berta's trying to reunite with Diego Simeone and Simeone says, I want the 3 best center backs in the world on my team,
you never know.
I don't see the reason why he would leave Inter or why we would go after him. I mean, you're talking 100 million for a player like this. I mean, for me, I think Saliba and Gabriel, in my personal opinion, are the only 2 center backs that are better than Bastoni.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, I guess since you mentioned the 100 million, here's a 100 million player that we were linked to, and we were linked to before with him. It has a release clause of 100 mil, which is Nico Williams.
Not a fan.
I know his contract runs to 2030 something. I think 2031, or maybe even longer than that. but there's a release clause of 100 mil on his contract. You guys think he would fit Arsenal instead of? I mean, is he better than Martinelli? Better than Trossard?
Bobby Vieira's level, Sammy.
Exactly.
He's not it.
He's not it.
He's not it.
Nah, it's a hard pass for me.
So who's the left winger you would like, Taryn?
Rodrigo.
Because I know who I want.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Okay, you, Gianni?
Yeah, same. He hasn't scored 10 goals in La Liga the last 3 years. We don't need that.
No. I mean, who would you like as a left winger?
I mean, okay, top tier is Rodrigo or shit. The guy that just went to Atletico. If they were gonna sell him, the Spanish kid. Baena.
Okay.
Baena. If not them, they're gonna be low cost buys. I honestly would look at the two kids from Galatasaray, either Barış Yilmaz or Yunus Akın, because they're going to be low transfers. They'll be low transfer money, so it's a low risk. And what those guys are doing fit the way that we play more than this guy. This is another pace merchant who is okay sometimes on the ball, but is living off the fact that he looks okay with Spain. I mean, if my fat ass dropped 50 pounds and was getting offered money to go play on the Spanish national team, I could put in goals like Nico Williams. So what he's done at Bilbao is He's not done what people try to hype him up to be. He's living more so off of his international name. I'm looking at like what Terrence said. I'm looking at Rodrigo. Hell, I'd be willing to take a risk on Saka on the left, and even the young kid, the who's the Turkish kid on Real?
Güler.
Güler. I would even risk moving Saka to the left and putting Güler on the right.
What you think of Leao, Gianni?
He's a bum.
That's the name I want.
He's a bum.
That's the guy I want.
He's a bum.
Man, he's good.
He's a bum.
Man, I think he's a good player.
I would take the one that's at PSG over
yeah,
Leao.
I would take Doué or Varashelia.
Doué, yeah.
I would take Doué or Varashelia any day.
You're not buying Doué, bro. You're not buying Doué.
Leao. The problem with Leao is Leao is world class for 3 games and is dog shit for the next 15. The only consistent run of form that Leao had was when Milan pulled off the title when Napoli and Inter threw the title away. It's the only time. He's inconsistent as hell.
Yes.
He's right now. He's they're putting him as a striker because of the system that Allegri plays. They're utilizing him as a striker, and that was the same position where he looked good for Milan when they won the title. Was he was playing more of a secondary striker role than an out-and-out winger. So again, you're talking about another player that doesn't fit the profile that you may have to get a new manager in to get the best out of. Leao for me is
Okay, well, I think
too many games where he just looks disinterested, where he looks like he can't be asked.
That's exactly the problem with him.
Yeah. I think you can unlock something with that guy. But I think the chat also here agrees with you guys. They say don't buy from Leipzig. That's what Social Join is saying. He's like Madueke, does bits on the pitch, but rarely any output. I think that's regarding Nico Williams. Nico Williams, Sesko, all players, Mikel wanted all mentality weak so he can control them. Okay. For me, Jesus out, Rodrigo in, Trossard out, Mecca, Götze. I don't know this player.
I don't know who that is either. Götze.
No idea who that is. And Leao saying, like you said, Gianni, Leao lost hype last 2 years. I think there's still a player in him, but
there is.
That's my thought.
The problem is this with Leao. Again, it's a player that you need a different manager, because if you tell Leao to go play defense, he's not going to listen to you. And you're going to have a problem.
I don't want him to play defense, bro. I'm not into this.
If Arsenal win the league this year, and Arteta stays, Leao is not going to be the guy that you want to go and sign, because Leao is going to throw what you thought you saw with the bust up with Aubameyang. You're going to get the same thing with Leao. Leao is not going to listen. There's going to be a problem in the locker room, and then you're going to be dealing with more nonsense behind the scenes of an unhappy player who's going to be on big money. He's not the answer for us. If Arteta is here, if you brought an Enrique in, Enrique would probably get something out of him because he's going to leave him to do what Enrique likes to do, of let them get free roam up top.
Man, look at Dembele when he was in Barca and how he was not that great in Barca, but now he's a Ballon d'Or player.
Always injured.
I mean, that
he was always injured at Barca.
Always injured. He didn't really perform to the level. So Luis Enrique managed to unlock him, and I think Leao has that potential to become one of the top players in the world. I can feel it. I can see it. You know, the guy's a baller, but maybe he lost his hype. Maybe he lost the interest to play for Milan. I don't know what's going on right now with him, but I think he's a player that we can. And also the price tag, I don't think they're gonna sell him for a lot. I mean, if he's, like you guys said, he's not performing at a high level, so I think 50 million euro would lock that deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got him for cheap. I think Leao only cost AC Milan like 7-8 million when they got him, because they got him as a kid.
Oh,
and that could very well be it, but that's also the problem, though. If you can't be asked, because my thing, exactly what Terrence said, when you see the games where he looks like he can't be asked, it looks like that because Leao is upset that he didn't get the big money move earlier on his career, like right after when he won the Scudetto. Since Milan won the Scudetto, he looks like he can't be asked to be playing for Milan. But then you go and ask yourself, do you really want to take a chance on a player who, if one thing goes wrong, he's going to get that emotional or that moody to where now he can't be asked to play for your club? That's another reason why I would stay away from Leao. That's my personal opinion. Skill-wise, everything else, Leao, if he gives a shit, can be one of the best players in the world. But the problem is there's that much in his way to unlock that. That's my only issue with him.
He resigned, didn't he?
Yeah, he resigned the beginning of last year, I believe, because he didn't get the big money move.
Okay. There's that, guys, about all the news that we covered for this week. And as usual, the last segment of the show, Arsenal now are going to play Mansfield in the 5th round of the FA Cup. So, I mean, we should lock that game. I mean, that should be an easy game. So we're going to go now to talk about, guys, after the draw against Brentford, after the draw against Wolves, what are you guys' thoughts about our season? Do you guys think we can still win it? I know it's more difficult now. Even when I saw Pep Guardiola in his press conference lately, they pressed him to answer, do you have the chance now to win it? He said, I don't know. He kept his composure and he said, don't ask me that question. There are still 12 games. And he said 12 games, it feels like eternal lifetime for and anything can happen in 12 games. So I want your feelings, guys, as an Arsenal fan. Is the confidence still there? Do you think we'll still win it? What's going on in your minds?
I'll be honest with you. I was showing Chess the last one and said that I think that we're still going to win 2 titles. And I would be lying if I told you that a lot of that confidence has been eroded away.
Okay.
My problem is this. It's not only the fact that Arteta is still being a nut job with trying to repeat the same old nonsense, but it's the fact of when you physically watch the game, the players don't look like that. If they're not up 4-0 by the 60th minute, anything below a 2-goal lead does not look safe anymore because of how run into the ground that they look. Timber and Rice are both physically limping during the games.
Yes.
If you look at the corner kicks, when Rice goes to take a corner, he physically is limping to the corner to go and take it. And then the other thing is these guys are sucking in wind or are trying to suck in as much oxygen as possible at different times throughout the game. And I'm worried that with these last 12 games, with FA Cup games, with potentially we don't know where the Champions League games drop in the schedule, I just don't think that with also the injuries to certain players, I just don't think there's not enough rotation to save some of these guys. And that's my worry that we are going to bottle this now. Because like I said before, I do not prescribe to this, there's no easy game. The winners do make games easy. Champions make games easy against the shit teams.
Facts.
Those are the games, you know, like I've said before, I said this to Waffle Don before. When they brought up the Spurs with City, Spurs has been City's bogey team even through the 4 years that they won straight. They always had a problem with
Yes. Even Liverpool.
And Liverpool. But the other teams, whoever was the shit teams in the Premier League, they made easy work of them. We're making everything 10 times more difficult than what it needs to be. And that's and seeing that again, as we've recently seen that, it's just not my confidence is slowly eroding. Now, the situation with Spurs, I'm still confident that we'll beat Spurs because Tudor is a shit manager. You know, people have tried saying he's the Sam Allardyce of Italy. He's not. He's just a shit manager. I don't know how he got this fucking job. So, you know, derbies, form goes out the window. It's a derby. You have to wait and see what happens. But for me, the Ethan loan looks even more stupid now. It's just across the board. There is nothing that is giving me any positivity that's going to lift me up right now from where I'm at with this team. If we go to Spurs and we blow the doors off them and we win 4-0 and we look convincing, and it wasn't a game where Spurs gave it to us and we took advantage of them being shit, I'm not going to be that more confident. But if we go and take the initiative and smoke them, that would make me more confident.
That wouldn't make me confident. I need to see that consistent base, at least for 3-4 games.
Yeah,
to feel that confident. I mean,
you got to take your first step. The first step is key.
That's true. That's true.
My point with that. I hear. Listen, I agree
true.
with you. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key because now there are no mistakes. And even so, the title really isn't even in our hands anymore if City goes on and win, because now the Etihad is a must-win game. And now we know what the history of this team is. Regardless of Mikel, we know the history of this team. When pressure gets put on us over these last 20 years, we crumble. It's beyond just Mikel with that. We all said this, I think, 2 weeks ago before all the points were dropped. The biggest problem is it's Arsenal versus Arsenal. It's not anybody else because the league should have been over by now. It's Arsenal versus Arsenal.
Yeah, I did not know Tudor's actually managed Galatasaray. He said it now.
Yep.
I did not know
He was the
that.
manager. I think he was the manager at Galatasaray when they didn't even qualify for Europe. And they sacked him, and now the new Turkish guy is the manager.
Well, they might have this new manager bounce for a game or two, and I just hope it doesn't work for against us. That's all I gotta say. What about you, Taryn? Well, what's your thoughts about? I mean, how do you feel right now as an Arsenal fan? Are you confident, or it has been eroded, as Gianni just said?
I think it's over, bro. Yeah, I don't think it's so. It's back to preseason settings for me. FA Cup, Carabao. Okay, that's what I said we would win before the ball was good.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so it's back to that.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta just, oh my God, when he does stuff, the stuff that he does doesn't fill me with confidence. And here's what I mean.
Okay.
When you play an unfit right winger in the 10 and bench your actual 10, you have to win the game. And then you bring on the actual 10, but don't replace the 10. Nah, take off the right winger, put the unfit 10 on the wing to bring on the 10. Like, he can't never just draw a straight line, bro. He just have to, like, he's a guy that's telling you a story and he's not concise. He got to go down the street and back. You done fell asleep by the time he gets to the climax. You know, he does stuff like this, right? And
you know, Taryn, the where's your ears? When somebody asks you where's your ears?
Yeah.
It's right here. It's just, this is my ear, man. It's not here. It's right here.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
And then when he do what I just described, you play an unfit 10 and bench your fit one.
Yeah.
Then he complains about injuries. Like, what are you on, bro? You know, I think in a pressure cooker when you have 12 potential banana skins, now 11. Now Wolves was a banana skin. When I can't trust you to go away at the worst team in the Premier League and get a win when you're comfortably 2-0 up, I'm I don't believe I can trust you match week 33 away at the team that's chasing you, your dad, the guy who supposedly taught you. Zubimendi has played every Premier League game. We've played 27 games. He had plays every single one.
Yep.
Big up to Joins in the chat saying Norgard. What was the point of Norgard?
Yeah,
What's
so
the point of
what
him?
they tell us, sensible signing.
Sensible signing.
The man hasn't
TK
played a full game.
Yeah. TK is saying the players look tired while Eze has barely played. While Norgard has barely played. This is poor man management. Now, we've seen Pep been holding man back. People talking about Turkey's out of form. No, he's not. Pep is holding. He's about to unleash, bro. He is about to
Look at
unleash
the
the
stats.
full wrath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4
Sensible
minutes.
signing.
Yeah. So Zubimendi has played 27 games, all of them. He hasn't started all of them, but he has played in every single game. And the guy that's supposed to back him up got 34 minutes. That's poor man management. That's not how you win a league title.
And that's his first season in the Premier League, by the way.
That's not how you win, brother. Now watch when Pep just unleashes everybody. A fit Nika Gonzalez and Ballon d'Or Rodri and Reinders. And Reinders' legs are fresh. He's been rotated this, and Pep does this every year, bro. I remember in the running in the 22-23 season, a must-win away game at Everton. He had Kevin De Bruyne on the bench.
Yep.
For the run-in, because he was able to start and rotate and play Gundogan, Silva, Rodri, and Kevin De Bruyne is coming on in the last 8 games, just cooking everybody. Cooked us 4-1. You see how he picked up that ball and ran through our midfield and scored. That first goal at the Etihad, the 4-1, when Erling Haaland take out his man bun. And shaking his hair and scoring goals while he has his scrunchie in his hand, blood. You know what I mean? Made light work of us. Pep knows what he's doing. This is what he wants. A run in with Arsenal. If this was Liverpool, maybe he's nervous, but he's chased us down before and he knows this. I don't trust Arteta in this type of running. That's why it was so important for us to put some daylight between us and them. And they gave us so many opportunities. They gave us 4 draws in a row and a loss to Man United.
The league should be over. The league should be over by this point already. This should have been Wolves. The Wolves decision should have been bump in the road. League still over. Yeah. That's what the reaction of Wolves should have been.
Yeah.
You didn't. We've been daring Pep to take the league from us this entire time. And go ahead, Turn.
If from this point Arteta beats Pep to the title, then he will have done some managerial tweaks, so to speak, for from this point, because you can't put hand over heart and think you say Arsenal's going to win every game from now on. But if he beats Pep to the title from here to the end of the season, never ending praise for me. But I don't trust him to do that because he's the reason why we're in the situation why we're nervous. Sky Sports on February 1st, Tim Sherwood, all these men on February 1st when we beat Sunderland, I think, and they drew to Tottenham, said this will be the weekend that we remember that Arsenal won the Premier League. That's 3 weeks later. It could be. We've even heard man come on stream and tell us about match week 30, the Premier League is going to be done. Bro, match week 30, we could be behind City. So I'm not fully confident.
You know, for me,
people out here pretending like they don't know where the PTSD come from. Look at the league table.
Not only that, take it a step further. What champion in any league have you seen not put a 90-minute performance across a whole season?
Yeah.
We haven't played one full 90 minutes in the league either. It's been halves. And even then, we haven't even played full halves. It's been spurts. No team has won a league like that.
You have to see it through.
You have to see it through. You have to see it through. And again, there's game in a lot of the games that we won, we didn't deserve to win.
Newcastle away.
Villa at home. We only won that game because Amadou Onana got hurt and because Watkins didn't have his shooting boots on.
Yeah, I didn't even see that game still. I heard that.
If Watkins had his shooting boots on, we're down 3-0 going into halftime. Onana ran the show through the middle. This is why it's like we're just to go back to the Brentford game. Why is Declan Rice the guy running around at 100 miles an hour trying to create when he looks lost trying to create? Declan Rice was running around going like this. While everybody was just standing still in their positions. No movement, no changing of the pace, nothing. That's what gives us the PTSD because again, these players have been ran into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If there was actual rotation, if players weren't ran into the ground the way that they have been, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this. Wolves are on pace to be the worst team in Premier League history. Why isn't Norgard and Miles Lewis-Skelly starting in the midfield for that game?
Yeah.
He should have actually started, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the previous game, he lined him up at midfield before the warm-up injury, before he moved him at left back. So he knows that Skelly is a midfielder, but he's just too stubborn to play him there.
Yep.
And I see Jones is coming in the chat about the Newcastle VAR with the pen. But yeah, who scored that goal at the end to win it? It was Gabriel, right?
Gabriel, yeah.
Should have been sent off.
Yep. Facts.
If Walter Mata goes down and hold his face and that goes to VAR, he's off the pitch.
Yep.
So we've been dodging bullets all season. We dodged the bullet at home versus Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm okay with sometimes you need the element of luck, right? Sometimes you do, but you cannot rely on it to help you escape murder all the time. And these performances just caught up with us. I mean, it's unsustainable, relying on set pieces, own goals. It's just not how
Own goals got more goals scored for us than our fucking striker does.
Exactly. I mean, that's what? There's not a single team that I remember since I watched football in the Premier League specifically that won the league without having a striker or a player that scored more than 15 goals. I never witnessed that in my life. I mean, you can guys correct me.
No,
Sky Sports
put that on. There hasn't been a team in Premier League history that has won without a 15 goal scorer.
I did not see that stat, but from my memory serves, since 2002, that's what I recall. Yeah. I never saw a team that actually won without a striker, like or a star that.
Juventus in Italy, the perfect year by
Conte. No, in the Prem.
Not in the Prem. No, not in the Prem. No. The Prem, no. Juventus is the last team that I remember, but they had like 5-6 guys who scored like 10 goals.
What was that, Del Piero era or something?
No, Del Piero was gone by then, I believe. It was Quagliarella, Vucinic, Arturo Vidal, Pogba.
Vucinic, okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that squad. That was 2015, I think, right? 15
yeah, it might have been Conte's last year or second year that they did it. It was, but
again,
but that's the requirement. You need 5-6 guys to score 10 goals apiece.
Yes, that's true.
We're not even close to that, so it's like
Yeah, but for me, guys, it's over since the Brentford game. Just to let you know, I gave up since the Brentford game. I even named my watch along as if we drop points, it's over. And I think it's over since the Brentford game. And just to confirm it, the Wolves game happened. I'm like, yeah, man, we're not gonna win this game. And
if we lose to Spurs, it's really over. If we lose to Spurs, it's
no, man, it's over since the Brentford. And I get a lot of banter at work sometimes. People come to me, the cracks started to show, and I keep showing my chest. I'm like, I'm saying this calm guy, this calm persona that I'm saying, hey, listen, who's the top of the league now? So shush, that's the only thing I can say right now because I know that the hit is coming. So I'm enjoying the last days of us being first because I know City will catch us, man. And I think it's over. I generally think it's over.
League. I'm in the final. She focused from the Premier League. Just talk about the Carabao. Hey, we're in the final. Go to that. But hey, we're in the final. Leave the Premier League alone. This is not going to go well. I promise you.
That's what I'm gonna say. The next, we're in the final. We're top of the UCL. Yeah. Tell me.
Worst bottle job out of all the bottling that he's done.
This one, yes.
This one is by far the worst.
Yes,
because
100%.
This City team doesn't have Gundogan or De Bruyne bailing them out. Bernardo Silva is the same player that he used to be.
Liverpool shit.
Correct. Liverpool is shit. Man United is shit. All the supposed around. Remember, people at the beginning of the season were trying to tell us that Chelsea may be in for a title race. We all saw that was bullshit. The fact that we've basically been daring Pep to step up to the plate for majority of the season, and now it looks like he's about to overtake us. This is by far the worst because there's no more excuses with this one. Last year they had the excuse of injuries. derailed us, and they all jumped on when Arteta said, "Oh, we knew we were coming into this season thin." So that was the get out of jail free card, that the squad was thin and these amount of injuries derailed us. We went and nearly spent 300 million pounds in the offseason to build a full squad. You're still not rotating. There's players on purpose being left out. We can debate if it's because of the fact that he didn't want the player, or there's a power struggle between him and Berto. We can argue any which way with that. But this is all self-inflicted damage this year. It's all self-inflicted, and there's nobody else to blame. You can't say City's been great, because City has not been great. I would argue this is the worst City has played under Pep since he took the team over his first year in the Premier League. So
yeah, that's what he said, by the way, in the press conference. They said, okay, hey, listen, you've been in the title races, so you have the experience. And what Pep said is, yeah, I do have the experience, but 70% of my squad don't have the experience.
Exactly. And that's the point that I make, that this isn't the same City team. So the fact that you have a team that is majority inexperienced, and the main players that drag the experienced players that are still there to victory are no longer there. There are no excuses anymore that we should not, to why we should be winning this title.
Gentlemen, this season, I've heard Man City fans, say Pep out. That's how shit they've been.
Yep.
Yes.
It's out their own mouth. So if they can go from Pep out to win the league, biggest bottle ever.
Yep. Facts.
Oh, I never heard a City fan say Pep out until this season. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of them are never a foul, except for Daps. The rest of them been Pep out.
I think also Hamza also wasn't a Pep out.
Hamza's Arsenal fan, bro.
Yeah, ex-Arsenal fan, yeah. But also ex-Barca fan as well. So we all know that it's fine. We know he's a Pep fan.
Anyone who's my age group and they speak with an African accent, they're Arsenal fans. There is no exceptions to that. They started to defect to Chelsea for a while. Then they went to City.
Yeah, well, they're glory hunters, I guess. But anyways, man, this is all what I have to say about this show today. It's been a great show. Thank you, Gianni. Thank you, Taryn. Again, guys, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to both of the gentlemen right here, Gianni and BBK. Both channels are in the description. Any final words? Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Arteta out.
I think we covered it.
Arteta out. Okay.
Arteta out. He should be sacked now so we can save the season.
Yeah, well, I hope so, man. I hope so. But yeah, let's back up our team until the end, bro. That's all I can say. All right, guys. Cheers, man. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Stay safe wherever you are. And Ramadan Mubarak to all our Muslims community and friends and families.